So this pose, Virasana, is where we take our heels wider than the hips. But to start in the morning, if you're like me, with slightly iffy knees, you might like to prop yourselves up with a few blocks or a few cushions, because my knees are not ready for Hero's Pose first thing in the morning. If this is also out of the question, then take yourself into a seated cross-legged position. So don't sit in any way that feels uncomfortable. You need to be comfortable as we begin the class and centering ourselves. So this morning we're going to start with a little alternate nostril breathing. But before we begin, let's just check in with our bodies and make sure that we're sitting up nice and straight. We're stacking the spine over the pelvis, so shoulders over the hips. You're not leaning forwards or backwards. And just envision that you have the center of the crown of the head centered over the center of the pelvis. So resting one hand onto your knee, onto your lap, your left hand. We're going to use the right hand to alternate the breathing through the nostrils. So begin by closing the eyes and just begin to arrive into the present moment. Just begin to observe the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. And just take note and observe the sensations of the breath. So feel the air as it flows in through the nostrils between the upper lip and the tip of the nose. Feel the sensation there. And feel the sensation as the air flows through the back of the nose, through the throat. Maybe energizing with a little ujjayi whispering sound, oceanic sound in the back of the throat. And then attention to the lungs. So notice the lungs. Feel the lungs expand with the ribs. So the ribs widening in all directions. And then noting the change to the belly as the diaphragm moves up and down, changing the organs inside of the belly, that area, the abdomen. So making space for all of that fresh new air coming into the body. Just take a few more breaths here before we begin our alternate Nadi Shodhana breath. So alternate nostril breathing. So bringing your thumb onto your right nostril to block the right nostril. Take the pointer finger and the middle finger either to the bridge of the nose or to the space of the third eye, so that point between the eyebrows. And then using the ring finger onto the left nostril. So the ring finger and the thumb are going to block and unblock the nostrils. So we're going to alternate those. So start by blocking right. Take a nice breath out in the left. Inhale left. Block. Exhale right. Inhale right. Block. Exhale left. Inhale left. And block. That's one round. Exhale right. Inhale right. block, exhale left, inhale left, and block. Continue it with your own pace, own rhythm. We'll take about 10 rounds. So exhale, then inhale, then block and switch, and keep going with that. Take one more full round. Releasing from the nose and bringing the hands together, taking one hand on top of the other with the palms facing up. Just inviting openness, awakening your consciousness. So feeling yourself fully grounded into this present moment. Just using the breath as your anchor. Whenever thoughts or distractions, whether it be noise or bodily sensations, take you away from your practice. If you feel yourself drifting off into thoughts, feelings, emotions, that's okay. It's perfectly normal. Just observe that you're feeling, that you're hearing, that you're thinking. Observe gently without judgment and give yourself the compassion that you need to know that it's okay to be distracted. So noticing you're distracted is good because you know that it's happening. So note that it's happening and then come back to the breath. So beginning to wake up your pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Beginning to squeeze and lift in there. On your next exhale, drawing in navel to spine, Uddiyana Bandha. So waking up the very base of our core muscles, our abdominal muscles. They are key to our yoga practice. Holding energy into the body, also providing lift and support. And now setting yourself your intention, your positive intention for your day, for your practice, or for your life in general. Make your intention definite. Give it light and color and clarity and detail. Really picture it in your inner mind's eye. And then repeating silently to your inner mind's eye that intention, I am. Fill in your intention. Embody that intention. Slowly opening up the eyes, taking the hands from the lap and coming forwards off the knees, so rolling off the heels or off your block or cushions, wherever you had used. And have a little go if you were on your block. Just see how your legs feel. Can you take your buttocks now down to the heels? If you ever notice any pain in the body, then obviously you must stop. So really pay attention and listen to the feedback. So if anything really hurts at all, then stop. And if you feel overwhelmed or you feel you just need to take a break, then take child's pose. So just folding forwards, curling yourself into a lovely ball, rolling the shoulders forwards, closing the eyes. So knowing that child's pose, Balasana, is always here for you at any time. So listen to your bodies. Be kind, be gentle, even when the practice is strong. So just taking a few wrist rotations. So I'm coming off my heels just to give my knees a little break. You can stay in hero's pose if that feels comfortable for you. So just taking hold of one wrist, keeping the arm completely static, and then just working through some full rotations of the wrist. Switching sides. These are called CARs, continuous articular rotations. 2. Then pressing the hands together. Maybe rocking from side to side with the fingertips. Just to get, and then working into a little bit more flexion. So just bringing the fingertips towards the forearms. Just stretching out the wrist extensors and flexors. So then going the other way, so bringing it into the inner forearm. And just notice if you feel any pain in any places, any tightness, because we do take a lot of weight into our wrists in our yoga practice. So on to our next stage, beginning to move in our moving meditation. We're creating a union of the body, the breath, and the mind, and the soul. Your awareness, your consciousness. So bringing it all together, synchronizing our movements with our breath. So coming into Vinyasa tabletop. So stacking your knees underneath your hips, and then taking your hands a little bit in front of your shoulders. Send your middle finger or your pointer finger pointing towards the top of the mat. Spread your fingers wide. It's a little spin of the upper arms externally, so your triceps are pointing back, your biceps are facing forwards. And as you do that, feel the openness across the collarbones, across the chest. Re-engage Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. So re-engage those abdominal muscles, squeeze and lift. Tuck your toes. And then hover the knees just a little bit off the mat, an inch or so. Squeeze and lift into the belly in a flat back position. Your gaze is just ahead of your fingertips, probably towards the top of your mat. So you want a nice long neck. Let's hold it here for another 2 breaths. Using that Ujjayi sounding breath, so energizing the breath. Push into the hands and start to send your buttocks towards your heels. Your belly may land on your thighs, so just reaching, working into the shoulders a little bit, and then starting to walk your dog. So coming into our first Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Oh, lovely clicks there in my ankles. So pedaling the legs, So making any movements that feel good. So if you want to work a little bit into the arms, a little bending into the arms as well, using the arms and the legs together. Remembering keeping Mula Bandha or Dhyana Bandha engaged. Lengthening the neck, drawing the chin towards the chest, your drishti towards your navel. And then wagging your tail. So on the balls of your feet, then you're flipping side to the inner and the outer edges of the feet. So the upper body is staying static, but you're just stretching the side body. Now hold on one side, either side doesn't matter, just hold it. Feel that stretch from the hand all the way down the arm, down the side body, down towards the hip. Go to the other side. Breath to center. Just have a go at feeling like you can reach those heels down towards the floor. If the heels don't touch, it really doesn't matter. We'll set differently. But the intention is reaching them down towards the floor. Reaching your tailbone up. So tilting the pelvis down towards the floor. But reaching your coccyx, your tailbone, is like it's pointing to the sky. Reaching your armpits down towards the floor, down towards the mat. Drawing that chin toward the chest. Let's take another two deep breaths here, excuse me. 2 deep breaths here. On your next breath in, bending the knees. Look to the top of the mat and let's walk our feet all the way to the top. Grabbing opposite elbows. Really bend into the knees a little bit as we're still waking up the hamstrings and the legs. So take your sways from side to side. And you can nod the head yes, shake the head no. Draw some circles within those, both directions. Just feel the weight of the head hang heavy. And feel that space created in the cervical spine and the neck. The first few vertebrae where the skull joins the spine. So just using gravity here to create some space there, just to release any tension. So no tension in the shoulders and the neck. And then dropping the hands to the floor. Really feel your feet root into the earth. So notice the 10 toes and all points of the feet rooting into your mat. Begin to gently squeeze into the thighs as you can roll yourself up to standing with control. Squeezing in Mula Bandha, Dhyana Bandha. To come to stand at the top of your mat in mountain pose, Tadasana. Big toes together or feet apart, hip distance, your choice. Lift the toes and then re-root them down. Spread the toes wide. Lift the inner arches of the feet. Squeeze into the thighs. Feel the kneecaps lift. So fully engage the thighs. Engage the shins, the calves, the hamstrings. Checking in on your pelvis. Is it neutral? So give it a little tuck under if you need. Beginning to roll those shoulders back and down. Openness across the shoulders, across the collarbones, but without flaring the lower ribs. Squeeze and lift, Mula Bandha or Dhyana Bandha. Energize the arms all the way to the fingertips and feel yourself growing tall from the very feet up to the crown of the head and beyond. So imagine somebody's pulling you from the top of your head up to the sky. Connect with your breath. Flow with the movements of your breath. Ujjayi sounding breath. So we'll begin with some classical Surya Namaskar. Bringing your hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Inhale, reaching your hands up to the sky. Follow your thumbs with your drishti. Exhale, folding gently over the legs into Uttanasana. So soften the knees to start, drop the head. Inhale, half lift, bring the hands to shins, flatten the back, gaze forwards. Drop the hands, step the right leg back, drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. Nice deep breath in as you reach your arms up to the sky. You can have the arms hip and shoulder width apart. But look up to that space between the hands. Feel the openness occurring into that right hip flexor. Big breath in. Exhale, frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes. Inhale into your plank. Exhale, dropping knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale into Salambasana B, Locust B. Exhale through Bidhilasana, tabletop, tuck the toes. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Big breath in as you step your right foot forwards, drop the back knee. Exhale. Inhale into your Anjanasana. Maybe bringing the hands together, see how that feels. Working into that left hip flexor now. Look up to your thumbs. Frame the front foot, exhale. Tuck the back toes. Inhale, bringing the feet together as you take your half lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale into Uttanasana, forward fold. Soften the knees, plant the hands to the earth, drop the head. Inhale as you bring your hands up through center. Follow your thumbs with your drishti, look up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step the right foot back. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, into your low crescent lunge. Maybe bringing the hands together, maybe taking the hands a little further back. Little micro back bend there. Inhale, framing the front foot. Exhale, tucking the toes. Inhale into plank. Exhale into your knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the chest, looking up. Exhale through Bidhilasana to table. Through tabletop to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And that's a lovely transition to use. If you don't like the Chaturanga version that we do in the A and B Surya Namaskar. Taking a couple of deep breaths in and out here. On your next breath in, stepping that right foot forwards, drop the back knee. Take another deep breath in into that low crescent lunge, looking up. Feel that little micro back bend occurring. Then exhale, frame the front foot, tuck the toes. Inhale into half lift. Scoop the belly up, straighten the legs a little bit more, flat back, gaze forwards. Exhale into Uttanasana. Plant the hands alongside the feet if you can, drop the head. Inhale, rooting the feet, reaching up all the way to the top. Look up to your thumbs. Then hands along by the sides. Into mountain pose, Tadasana. Into our other version of sun salutation, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweeping the arms wide. Look up to your thumbs as you take Urdhva Hastasana, a little micro back bend. Exhale, hands through center. Into your Uttanasana, hands alongside the feet if you can. Inhale, half lift, fingertips or hands to shins, your choice. Then hold the breath, plant the hands and step or jump into plank. Exhale, taking your choice of knees, chest, chin or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for a full upward facing dog or sticking the Salambasana. Exhale into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Remember, draw your chin towards your chest, your drishti to navel. 1 more big breath in and out. On your next breath in, come into the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat. Stop just stop there as you gaze between the hands. So you want the hips to be high if you're going to take that hop, step, or jump forwards. Breath in, half lift, gaze forwards. Exhale, forward fold deeply. Inhale, sweeping the arms wide, rooting the feet, squeeze the thighs. Look up to your thumbs. Exhale, we'll go all the way down. Let's flow through down into Uttanasana. Hands alongside the feet. Inhale, half lift, fingertips or hands to shins. Hold the breath. Step or jump back into plank. Exhale through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, your choice. Inhale for a full upward facing dog or Asalambasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Spread the fingers wide, softness in the elbows. Send the shoulders away from the ears. Spread the scapula, the shoulders wide across the back. Draw navel to spine, drishti to navel. On your next breath in, bend in the knees, look forwards, keep the hips high as you hop, step, or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, sweeping the arms wide, looking up to your thumbs as you bring your palms, the hands together. One more time, exhale, forward fold. Swan dive over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, plant the hands, step or jump back. Exhale, lower, your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog or sticking with your locust. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Bending the knees and the balls, coming to the balls of the feet, look to the top of the mat, keep the hips high, step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift, forward fold, exhale. Root the feet, squeeze the thighs, coming up with control all the way to the top. Taking a little micro back bend here, so send those hips forwards and take the hands a little bit beyond the head back. Look to your thumbs. Then back to Tadasana, through Samastitihi. Into Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, bending the knees generously. Sweeping the hands down so the fingertips graze the earth. Follow the hands with your drishti, coming into Utkatasana. Scoop and lift the belly up. Exhale, forward fold deeply. Plant the hands. Inhale, half lift. Hold the breath, step or jump into your plank. Exhale, lower, your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice big breath in as you kick your right leg to the sky. 3-legged dog. Bringing the weight forwards into the hands and coming to the ball of the left foot. Scoop the right knee in towards the chest. Touch the nose with the knee. Stepping lightly between the hands. Drop the back heel. Coming into warrior 1's hip face forwards. So sending the hips forwards. Don't let them go out to the sides. Check the facing front. Looking up to the hands, either hands apart or bringing the palms to touch. Look up to the thumbs or the space between the hands. Then frame in the front. Exhale. Inhale, come into plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale for your upward facing dog or version thereof. Exhale, driving the hips back. Breath in as you float the left leg into 3-legged dog. Hold it here. So nothing's changing. The hips aren't twisting. Coming onto the ball of the right foot. Weight slightly into the hands a bit more. Bring that knee into the chest. Touch the nose with the knee. Lightly stepping the left foot between the hands. Drop the back heel. Hips facing forwards. Inhale. Reaching up into your warrior 1. Framing the front foot. Coming into plank. Exhale as you lower yourself. Hover above the mat. If you're taking chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, navel to spine. Draw the hips back. Downward facing dog. On your next breath in, bend the knees, thighs towards belly as you look to the top of the mat. Hop, step, or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold, exhale. Utkatasana, chair squeeze into the thighs. Sweep the hands, touch the earth with the fingertips, looking up between the hands into your chair pose. Squeeze, lift into the belly. And then forward fold. Exhaling. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, hold the breath, step, jump back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drive the hips back. Then inhaling, right leg to sky. Then bend the knee, open the hip up to the side. It's like trying to kick the right buttock, the right heel into the left buttock, sorry. From here, we're going to flip your dog. If you feel that you want to flip your dog into your wild thing. So bringing the right foot down alongside the left, facing the back of your mat, then re-lifting the hips up to the sky. Look to your back hand. 2 breaths. Looking to your left hand, spinning and rotating on the left foot, retaking your 3-legged dog. Weight into the hands to come with the ball of the left foot. Bring that right knee into chest, touch the nose. Step forwards, drop the heel, inhale, warrior 1. Bring the palms of the hands together if you can. Then framing the front foot to exhale. Step the front foot back, inhale. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, open the chest up. Exhale, drive your hips back. Breath in, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip up to the left. Kicking that heel towards the right buttock. Then flipping your dog. So coming into your wild thing. Reaching back. Big, strong belly breaths here. Looking to your right hand. So then you're pivoting on the right foot. Resend that left leg up to the sky. Come on the ball of the foot. Hook that knee to chest. Touch the nose if you can. Step forwards. Warrior 1. Last time on this left side. Look up to your hands. Bring the palms of the hands together if you can. Then framing the front foot. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga, or your knees, chest, chin, your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Let's all take a nice deep breath in, really fill the lungs. Open the mouth, sigh the breath out. Deep breath in. Sigh the breath out. Last one, where you take your lion's breath. Open the mouth wide, stick the tongue out, and send your gaze to your third eye. So just letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. Any negative energy. Any emotional energy that you don't need. On your next breath in, bending the knees, thighs towards the belly, keep the hips high, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, step, jump, hop to the top. Breath in, half lift. Deeply forward fold over the legs. Then inhale into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Now bring your feet closer together because we're going to stay in this Utkatasana for Parivrita Utkatasana as well. So checking your thighs are nice and strong and they're fully engaged. Bring the legs as close together as you can. Scoop and lift, belly up, navel to spine. Working into all of those abdominal muscles. And then coming down a little bit lower. Bringing your hands to your heart center. So checking that the legs do not move, the knees do not twist. So bring those legs together, glue them together if you can, and then twisting over to the right. So hooking the left elbow across the right thigh. Open the chest to the side. looking up over your right shoulder. And if you want to open your wings wide, looking up to your top hand. Scoop up that belly. Inhale to center. Exhale, hooking your right elbow across your left knee. Open the chest to the side, squeeze those thighs together. It's a balance as well. So opening your wings wide if you can. Send your drishti up to the top hand. And then bring your hands back to heart center. Big breath in, push into those feet. Coming back into standing. Mountain pose. Big breath in, stepping the left foot back, nice and wide. Lining the front heel with the back inner arch. Big breath in, reaching up to the sky, then exhaling into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So you're sinking the hips down. Body stays upright. Reaching the arms parallel to the earth. Look to your middle front finger. Soften the gaze. Soften the face. All the tension out of the neck and jaw. Maybe a little smile in the corner of the lips. And then let's reverse our warrior. So flipping the palm of the right hand, reaching forwards, then reaching the right arm up to the sky. And then I was shown something rather lovely where you take your left hand across to your right knee. So just trying this little variation. Keep the palm of that left hand facing up. Just take a couple more deep breaths here. Feel the openness in the front body, a little micro back bend happening. And then taking extended side angle. So taking the forearm to the thigh, reaching the left arm, windmilling that overhead. Sinking to the hips a little bit deeper, reaching the fingertips away. Looking up with your drishti to your top hand. Holding something precious in that right hand. If you want to sink a little lower, take the hand down to the right ankle. If you want to take a bind, wrap the arm around the back towards the right thigh. Open the chest up, look up to the sky. Take a nice deep breath in, look down to your front foot. Start to straighten that front leg. If you feel you need to bring that left foot in a little bit closer for your Trikonasana, then as we take our Trikonasana, sometimes people like the stance a little closer. Have your blocks ready. Because after that, we're going to take Ardha Chandrasana. So taking your Trikonasana first. So take your left hand to your left hip. Open the chest to the side. Imagine you're between two planes of glass. And then this right hand, what happens with this? We don't want to dump down into that hand. We want to create a feeling of lift in the body. Opening up the arms, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So reaching now that right hand towards me. This is where you feel that lift in the side body. Big breath in. Exhale, look down to your front foot. Start to bring your weight into your right foot, into your right leg, and taking your right hand onto your blocks. Then lifting that left leg to sort of hip height. Maybe a fraction higher, but not too much. Then opening the chest to the side. Once again, feel that lift in the body. We don't want to dump down too much weight into that right hand. So it's quite a light touch into the block. If you want to bind the back foot, bind the back foot. Otherwise, you're reaching your left hand up to the sky, lifting your gaze. One more big breath in. Exhale, look down to your front foot. Release the foot if you had hold of it. And with control, bending a little bit into that front leg, dropping the left leg back down. Look to the front of your mat. Step your feet together. Step the right foot back. I'm going to turn around to face the other way. so that I can see you. Into our warrior one. So stepping our feet so that they are centrally aligned. Front heel lines up with that back inner arch. Big breath in, reaching up. Exhale, bending generously into that front leg. So don't want that front knee oversailing the ankle. So step the feet wider apart if that's happening. You should be able to see your front big toes. So hips reaching down towards the earth. Check that front knee isn't rolling in. Reach the arms. Oh, so really reach the fingertips away, parallel to the earth. Look to your front middle finger. Remember that softness inside of that strong warrior. Sink a little lower, and then let's reverse that warrior. Flip the palm, reach forwards, and then sending the left hand up to the sky, and then bringing the right hand across to reach towards the inner left thigh. Palm facing up. Look up to your top hand. Feel the openness in the front body. 2 more breaths. And then extended side angle. Left forearm to left thigh. Reach the right hand overhead. Open the chest to the side. Really open it up. Send your drishti up to your top hand. So just lifting with the eyes without cranking the neck. Holding something precious in that left hand. Maybe bringing the left hand down to the left ankle. Your choice. Yogi's choice. Taking the bind behind the back if you wish. Wrapping it round towards the left thigh. Keep that lift in the gaze, in the chest. Coming into triangle. Big breath in. Begin to straighten that front leg. You can keep that left hand alongside the inner left calf. Open that chest. Use the hand on the right hip. Check you're really opening the body. Really nice and flat between those two planes of glass. If you feel you need to step the right foot back just a fraction, then do so if that feels a little better. Listen, feel the feedback in the body. Open the arm up to the sky. Feel that left side lift in the body, and then lifting that left hand up, parallel to the earth, reaching towards me. Look up to your top hand. Squeeze the hips towards each other. Squeeze the thighs towards each other. It's almost like you're sliding your feet towards one another. One big breath in. Exhale, look down to your front foot. Coming into the Ardha Chandrasana. Left hand onto the left block on the left side of your foot, top corner of your mat. So quite close to the wall here. I'm going to have to step back a little bit. So opening your hip up, bringing that right thigh a little bit above or roundabout parallel to the earth. Maybe a little bit higher for some people. Open the chest. Don't feel loads of weight dumping down into that block if you can help it. Open your arm to the sky. Look up to your hands if that feels available for you today, or binding onto that right foot with the right hand. Open the chest. 2 more breaths. And then slowly releasing the foot, and with control, just taking a little warrior 2. Look to the top of your mat. Step your feet together. Coming into eagle. Feeling nice and warm. Feet are very warm. Hands are very warm. So, 2 options. Standing leg, right side. Root the foot into the earth. Pada Bandha. Really imagine that big toe is like the tap root of your tree, that strong root. Squeeze into that standing leg thigh, into the glute. Super strong. Now, 2 options. Bringing the left foot across, open the knee to the side. And take your hands to your heart center as you bend into the standing leg, keeping the chest lifted, gaze forwards to a drishti spot. Option 2, generously wrapping the left leg around the right. So the left leg is on top. That means the right arm goes on top of the left. So we do the opposite arm bind to the legs. So set yourselves up, whichever pose option you choose. Remember, it's your practice. 2 more breaths. Lifting those arms to the sky if you're in full eagle, and then slowly release. Give the legs a shake. Over to the other side. Big toe rooted into the earth. All corners of the foot rooted into the mat. Taking the foot across, option 1. Option 2, really wrapping the right leg over, around, sending the foot towards the back of the calf, and then taking the opposite bind of the arm. So we have the right leg on top, so it means the right arm goes underneath. So opposite bind of the arms to the legs. Strong Ujjayi breath. Squeeze into those hips and slowly release. Taking a nice wide stance now. Step your left foot out or your right foot out, facing me or facing the side. Prasarita legs, so feet as wide as feels comfortable, and have the outer edges of the feet parallel with each other. Take your hands to your hips, and then taking the arms to bind behind. So clasping the hands together, really open the chest. Inhale, lift and lengthen, looking up. Exhale, hinge from the hip creases. Start to send your body down and forwards, crown of the head down towards the floor. Lifting the arms up towards the sky. So taking the weight a little bit into the toes so that the crown of the head reaches down a little bit closer towards the floor. Strong, deep Ujjayi breaths. 2 more breaths in and out. Listen to the feedback of your body. Releasing the arms, bringing the hands so that they line up with the feet. Drawing the elbows in. It's like you're taking chaturanga. And then redraw the head down towards the floor. Two more breaths. Deep inhale. Coming up onto fingertips. Take the heel toe, the heels in a little bit. Bend into the knees softly. Bring the hands to the hips. A nice safe exit. Inhale, pushing into the feet, straighten the legs, look to the top of your mat. And then step your left foot or your right foot in so that we're facing the front of the mat now with our feet hip distance apart, the right foot facing absolutely front and the left foot is at a 45-degree angle. From here, Parsvottanasana, so we're taking our reverse prayer here. So bringing the palms of the hands together behind the back, open it up into the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, or if that isn't available for your hands, take the opposite elbows with the hands. So clasping the elbows. So really open the chest in either case, squeeze the shoulder blades together, really create lovely openness there. Big breath in, open the chest, really feel the front of the body lift and lengthen. Looking up and then squeezing those thighs towards each other as you, with control, fold over your right leg. your drishti to your front right big toe. Squeeze and lift into the belly. Send that right hip back, left hip forwards. So roll the shoulders away from the ears. Lift into the elbows. If you have your reverse prayer. So you don't want the shoulders to collapse forwards. With every exhale, just feel as though that belly is landing onto the thigh. And maybe the head towards the shin. On your next breath in, coming halfway up, then release the hands. We're going to take that little flamingo. I love this pose. So we're going to take little spider fingers with the hands. So we're going to go into the tips of the fingers, and you're going to rotate the fingers so that the fingers are pointing backwards. So you're rotating the arms externally. Line up your hands, shoulder width apart, underneath the center of your hips. So press strongly into the fingertips. Press into that front foot and start to take the weight off the left leg and bring the left knee alongside the right knee and lift the foot up towards the buttock. Big breaths in and out. 2 more. Lift and squeeze into the belly. And slowly lowering the left foot down. Staying here. Coming into Parivrtta Trikonasana. So just reset your feet. Have that 45-degree angle on the left foot. Take a block if you need to. Take your revolved triangle either with your hand on the block or onto the outside of the right foot. So you choose. Take your right hand to your right hip. Let's start by spinning and opening the chest to the side. Squeeze the thighs actively towards each other like they couldn't squeeze anymore. Squeeze the hips together. Squeeze and lift into the belly. Then open the chest to the side a little bit more. If you want, you can keep your hand on the hip. Keep working on twisting and opening to the side. If it's available to you, lift that right hand to the sky. Squeeze a bit more into the belly. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze into the thighs, a little bit more towards each other. Big breath in. Exhale, look down to your front foot. Coming into Parivrtta Ardha Chandrasana. Take that block a little bit further away to the top left corner of your mat and slightly ahead of your right foot. Bring your weight into your right foot. Start to lift the left leg up, revolving and opening to the right. You can flex the foot, floint the toe, or point as your choice. I like to flex. It feels stronger for me into the leg. It's your choice. 2 more breaths. And slowly lowering the back foot down with control. Stepping the feet together, then stepping the right foot back. Line yourselves up. So hips face forwards. Check those hips. 45 degrees on the right foot, pointing forwards with the left. Hip distance apart for the feet themselves. Choosing your bind of the hands behind, reverse prayer, or clasping opposite elbows. Lift and lengthen, open up the front body, feel that lift in the chest. Exhale, folding with control over the front leg. Drishti down to the front big toe. Send those shoulders away from the ears. Push the palms of the hands together if you're taking reverse prayer. Squeeze the thighs towards each other now. So that right hip goes forwards, left hip goes back. So belly lands on that thigh, that left thigh, then the chest, then the head. 2 more breaths. Inhale, coming up a little bit, taking your flamingo. So rotate those hands, those spider fingers, so the thumbs are in front, the fingertips are behind. Really make those hands strong. So lining them up, shoulder distance apart, underneath the hips.
So bringing the weight into that front foot a little bit and into the hands, so kind of creating a tripod effect, bringing that right knee alongside left knee, lift the foot, squeeze and lift into the belly. Two more breaths. And then lowering the back foot down, coming into revolved triangle. Use your block if you need to press that right hand into. Open the chest to the side. Take your left hand onto your left hip. Begin by squeezing the thighs towards each other, lifting into the belly. Open the chest to the side. Really open and squeeze. Only if it feels right, lifting the left hand up to the sky. Lift your gaze to the top hand only if it's available to you. Just a little bit more squeeze into the belly, into the thighs, into the hips for support and stability. Big breath in, looking down to your front foot. Take your block a little bit in front of and diagonally to the left foot. So it's ahead of the foot and to the side. Bring your right leg up. So you're standing on your left leg. Your right leg kind of parallel to the earth, choosing the foot position, flex, floint or point, your choice. So see how it feels. And when you're ready, lifting the left hand towards the sky. Two more breaths. And lowering down, little bend in that front knee, lowering it down, stepping the feet together, push into the feet, come up to standing, nice and slowly. Well done, everybody. Big breath in, reaching up to the sky. Look up to your thumbs, feel that left side, right side coming together now. Exhale as you forward fold equally over the legs. Plant the hands to the earth. Forward fold deeply, belly onto the thighs. Drawing the head down towards the legs. Hold it here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deeply fold again. Then just rooting into the feet. Lifting all the way back up to the top. Spread the arms wide. Look up to your thumbs. Hands through heart center. Back to Tadasana. Just taking two more little standing balances and then we'll come down onto the mat. Stepping your left foot back. But this time you're on the ball of the back foot. Take a nice big breath in, reaching the arms up to the sky. So you got to bend in that right leg. Chandrasana. Take a nice big breath in. From here, we're going to come into warrior three. So you're going to bring your arms forwards. Bring your weight slowly into your right leg. Reaching your arms forwards, lifting the left leg up towards parallel to the earth. Push into that standing big toe. Lift into the belly. Two more breaths. And then from here, without dropping the foot, bringing your left hand onto your left knee, reaching your right arm overhead. And lean back just a little bit. So you're pushing your hand into that left knee, reaching the right arm back. Ugly dancer. And then bring yourself back through to Chandrasana. Reaching up. Then reaching forwards, bringing your hand to your heart center. And then twisting your left elbow across your right knee. Open the chest to the side. Looking over your right shoulder. Squeeze and lift into that left thigh really actively. Squeeze the hips together. Big breath in. Look down to your front foot. Coming back to center. Coming back through Chandrasana. And then from here, big breath in. Step the feet together. Keep the arms lifted. Step the right foot back. Chandrasana, left leg forwards, right foot back. You're on the ball of the back foot. Big breath in, just look up to your hands. And then we're going to come into that warrior three, tilting your weight forwards, bringing your weight into the left foot. Push into that standing big toe, lifting the right leg up. Squeeze and lift into the belly. Don't worry if you wobble. Wobbling's normal. And then coming into the ugly dance on the other side. So bringing that knee, the right knee up. Take the right hand across the front of the right knee. Lifting the left hand up. And then lifting the left hand back. Push into the hand of the right leg. 2 more breaths. And then slowly releasing the foot. Step it back. Little Ashtha Chandrasana, just 1 breath. Inhale, then start to reach forwards with the arms and bring the hands to the heart center, hooking that over to the left with that right elbow. Squeeze and lift into belly, squeeze the thighs together, take your twist. Look over your left shoulder. Big breath in. Looking down, release the elbows, then coming back into your Ashtha Chandrasana, lifting up, keep the arms lifted, step the feet together. And then slowly folding forwards, plant the hands, and then dropping to the knees, into Virasana, hero's pose, taking what you need between the feet. Take the feet wider than the hips, so you can see your heels either side of your hips. Just staying here for a moment. Maybe placing the hands one on top of the other into the lap. And then from here, your choice. You can stay in your hero's pose, or you can start to work yourself back. Now I'm going to use a bolster, but you can place a cushion to land onto. So we're dropping ourselves back onto our elbows. So go to where you can, where you feel you can go. Breathing deeply into the front body, all the way up to the leg, all the way up the legs, through the front body, and then reaching the arms overhead. Slowly coming up, pushing into the elbows, and then pushing into the hands. And if you have a wall, then we'll be using that in a little while. But first, I'm going to just take a little back bend wheel, and then we'll take a camel. So if you have a wall ready, we'll do the camel against the wall. But let's first set ourselves up into a bridge. So rolling down through the spine nice and gently. Bring those heels in, hip distance apart, nice and close to the buttocks. Holding onto the feet. Keep the thighs parallel. If you feel you need to take a block between the knees to squeeze in to keep them in line, then do so. So squeeze the shoulder blades underneath. Big breath in. Start to tilt the pelvis, rolling up through the spine, peeling the spine off the floor. As you come up onto the shoulders, really tuck the shoulder blades towards each other. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. Nice deep belly breaths. Last big breath in. Drive those hips a little bit higher. And slowly peel the spine back down onto the floor. Coming up once more into another bridge, or taking a full wheel. You choose. If you're taking a full wheel, be careful, listen to your body. So you're bringing the hands alongside the top of the head, driving into the feet first to bring us up onto the crown of the head, and then pushing it into the hands, or coming up into your second bridge, your choice. 5 deep breaths. Two more. And lower down, nice and slowly, back onto the crown of the head, and then rolling down. Hugging the knees in. Take a little rock and roll. And then if you have a wall, take yourselves over to your wall. If you don't worry. The posture's the same. Taking yourself knees hip distance apart to the wall. Push your hips into the wall, thighs into the wall, hands into the lower, very lower back of the hips. Start to open the chest. Open all the way up through the front body, looking back. Big breath in, coming back up. And then having a go at taking the hands down to the ankles. Or if you feel you don't want to do that, then keep working in driving those hips forwards with the hands in the lower back. Your choice. Drive the hips forward, squeeze into the glutes. Feel that openness in the front body. If you have your hands by your ankles, have a little go at lightning bolt, which means bringing the hands alongside the thighs. Open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then big breath in. Coming forwards into a rabbit, just a counter pose. So rolling the spine the other way, sending the head down to the floor, and then lifting the hips up. So you're rolling over onto the crown of the head. The chin goes into the chest. Tuck the toes under and grab hold of the underside of the heels. Big breath in. Exhale, release down into child's pose. Then rolling over back onto your backs. I'm going to take a little counter twist. So rolling carefully down through the spine. Bring your legs so that they're at 90 degrees. And then taking the knees, drop the knees to the left. Keep the shoulders glued to the floor. If you want to, you can extend and straighten the right leg. Maybe grab hold of it with the left hand and then look to the right hand. Bring the legs back together, knees together, big breath in, bring legs to center. Exhale, knees to the right. Glue that left elbow and shoulder down. Look to your left hand. And then maybe extend and lengthen the top leg. Maybe grabbing hold of the big toe with the right foot. Releasing the foot, bring the knees back together. Inhale to center. Happy baby. Taking the hands, grabbing the outside of the feet. Bring the shins to parallel with each other and perpendicular to the earth. Draw the knees down towards the armpits. Engage your core muscles. And then if you feel good, take your baby and rock your baby from side to side, rolling on the spine. Give your spine a lovely massage. Inhale to center. And then extending the legs long. From here, coming into Viparita Karani. So staying here if this feels like your inversion for today. Otherwise, coming into Halasana. So reaching the legs overhead. And then placing the hands into the lower back. Don't move the head. Lift and squeeze into the thighs. Lift the heels of the feet up. Flex the feet. And then from here, coming into Sarvangasana. Shoulder stand. So engaging into the thighs, into Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Lifting the legs up to the sky, stacking them over the hips as much as possible. Flointing or pointing the toes, your choice. Do not look with the head side to side. Keep the head static now. Do not move. Let's take 10 deep breaths here. Make sure those elbows are wiggled close together and the hands are pointing up towards the sky in support of your lower back. Take a few more deep breaths in and out. Feeling Jalandhara Bandha naturally here because your chin is into your chest. Squeeze and lift into Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha as well. 2 more breaths. And then re-lowering the legs overhead. If you want to come back into plow, extend the arms away, palms facing down. Roll down nice and slowly through the spine. Taking the hands so that the bottom lands onto the hand. And then lowering the legs. Keep the legs engaged, toes pointed. And drop them down very gently and slowly to the floor. As they touch, bring the elbows closer together, open the chest, and lift the chest. Then re-dropping the head back down to the earth, into Matsyasana, fish pose. Deep belly breaths. If it's in your practice to take Utthana Padasana, then take the hands from underneath the bottom. Bring the palms of the hands together, reach your hands to the sky, and then bring the legs together at 45-degree angles. Pointed squeeze into the legs, into the toes. 2 more breaths. Squeeze into the belly. But take deep, strong breaths in and out. Ujjayi breath. And then slowly lowering the legs down if you took the variation. Elbows into the earth as you lift the head with control. Bring the heels in towards the buttocks. Take the arms wide. Let's window wipe the legs side to side. And then bringing the feet together into Supta Baddha Konasana. If in this posture you feel the need to prop up underneath the knees, then take your blocks under the knees. But taking the arms wide into cactus arms, so reaching the hands up above the head, open up into the chest. Close the eyes. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, then bend into the legs, have the legs tripod in towards each other, or come into corpse pose, Shavasana. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, releasing into the hips, into the shoulders, into the abdomen, into the lower back. Begin to follow the wave of your breath, the continuous in and out, but without forcing its rhythm. Just let the flow come in and out of the body. Really reconnect with your breath.
Really notice it and feel it. Gently flowing in, softening and flowing out. Soothing and dissolving any tension in any place in the body. Any tension that you notice as you scan through your body, just send the breath there, just to dissolve away any tightness, any obstacles. So just consciously releasing the muscles of the face, often the jaw. Just let the eyes rest heavy in the sockets just for a few more moments. Just knowing right now there's nothing to do. Just breathe. Just feel present. Consciously present in this moment. Being aware of the body. Being aware of the breath. Just staying here for another 2 or 3 deep breaths. Maybe just lengthen the breath just that little bit. Feel the lungs expand and then feel them soften. It's lovely just to take some attention to this amazing process that happens all day long without us noticing. Sort of creating some gratitude to these systems in our bodies that are serving us all day long. Just honor them and feel great and great gratitude towards them. And then bringing your knees together, maybe using your hands to bring your knees together. Might need a little bit of help. Oh, yes. Then extending the legs long, reaching your arms overhead. Give yourselves a lovely stretch. Stretch your left side, so reach your left fingertips, your left toes away as far as you can. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then switch over to the right, so stretching right side. And then coming to center, hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug, a well-deserved hug. Giving yourself lots of love, lots of self-compassion, lots of kindness. And then slowly rolling over onto your right side. Just stay in that ball. Hug it, hug those knees into chest. Take your nose to your knees. And then slowly coming up to seated. Pushing into your left hand. Coming up with control. Gently. Keeping the gaze low or the eyes closed. Just coming into Sukhasana. Restacking the spine nice and long. Shoulders over hips. Crown of the head over pelvis. Bring your hands to your heart center. Consciously drawing the palms together, the thumbs, the fingertips. And then honoring yourself and honoring your practice today. Let's finish our practice with a single Om. Take a lovely deep breath in. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.